Gucci Man got robbed and didn't tell nobody but the law.
He said he gon' rob who? That's like trying to rob a tank. That's some shit that get you spanked. That done had too much to drink.
Might rob a rapper right out the session. Give me them keys and they watching that necklace. I need them Cuban links and them Bugattis.
According to a newly unsealed criminal complaint, Williams Jr. was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released.
Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
This is the story of how Lontrell Williams Jr., better known as Pooh Shiesty, a rapper who had just gotten out of prison months earlier, gotten a public welcome home from Gucci Mane, his label mentor, then turned around and lured Gucci Mane into a Dallas studio ambush at gunpoint which almost cost him and his friends their lives. Roderick Delentic Davis, better known as Gucci Mane, the same man who signed Shiesty to 1017, the same man who publicly welcomed him home after prison, and the same man who years earlier had bought him a Trackhawk when their relationship looked strong. There are several updates regarding this incident, including 50 Cent, Rick Ross, Charleston White, and many more celebrity reacting to the incident.
Come on over here with me, Gucci. Press charges on their ass to the full extent of the law. That's how you get to niggas.
Some called Gucci Mane a rat for involving the police, while others say he is now matured and do not have time for the streets anymore. It is a sad incident all around. What really happened inside that Dallas studio? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Shiesty, that's my Kobe Bryant. Ain't no way I'm trading him, man. Don't try me, yo. My goons be at your house.
Because this was not some random beef between strangers. This was a case that, according to prosecutors, grew out of a label relationship. Gucci Mane, whose real name is Roderick Delentic Davis, had signed Shiesty to 1017.
For attention right after they going high from a couple months went platinum, yo.
He had celebrated him. Back in 2021, he had even gifted him a Trackhawk.
Come on, bro, you gotta get in with me, man.
So look at your rim. Look at your
Get your phone up.
Put my phone on there. Give me slime. Get my other phone here. Here, get my other phone, man. Hey, we do here, bro. Give me life, man. Oh, slime over here for my guy, man. His birthday.
Then after Pooh Shiesty got out in late 2025, Gucci publicly welcomed him home. From the outside, it looked like the artist-label relationship was still there, especially them still having several songs together, but according to the federal case, underneath all of that was a contract dispute. And prosecutors say that dispute is what led to a January 10, 2026 meeting at a Dallas recording studio that was supposed to be about business. Shiesty was one of the biggest young names coming out of Memphis rap.
Can't be beat, man. We back and we better. We ready to hit the ground running. Big brother. Hey, FDO, FTL first.
His real name is Lontrell Williams Jr., but most people knew him as Pooh Shiesty. Gucci Mane had helped bring him into the spotlight through 1017 Records, and for a while that connection looked solid.
I rob a rapper right out the session. Give me them keys and they watching that necklace. I need them Cuban links and them Bugattis. I'm about to
Gucci was behind him, the label relationship was public, and fans saw Pooh Shiesty as one of the artists carrying that new 1017 energy. Then came prison. Shiesty went away, and when he finally came home, people in the rap world paid attention. Gucci Mane publicly welcomed him home. To a lot of fans, it looked like the bond was still there. It looked like whatever business issues may have existed behind the scenes had not completely destroyed the relationship. But according to the prosecutor's version of events, things behind the scenes were much more tense than people realized. The case centers on a Dallas studio meeting in January 2026. On the surface, it was supposed to be about business. The meeting was allegedly tied to contract issues involving Shiesty and 1017. He wanted to get of the label so bad and was ready to do anything to get Gucci to sign him out. According to federal authorities, once everyone got inside, this was no longer a business meeting. It became an armed takeover. The names tied to the case made it even bigger. Along with Shiesty, authorities also named Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30.
We on set, popping shit, you know what's going on. We back in full effect. Get over with us, big brother.
Then there was Lontrell Williams Sr., who is Shiesty's father. And several other men were also accused alongside them. Authorities say weapons were pulled, the victims were trapped inside, and the room was taken over before anyone had a real chance to get out. From there, prosecutors say the victims were attacked, threatened, and robbed. Gucci Mane was allegedly forced to sign Shiesty's release paperwork at gunpoint. One of Gucci's friend was reportedly choked so badly he nearly lost consciousness. Authorities also say luxury items were taken, including high-value jewelry, watches, cash, and other personal belongings. After Gucci Mane and his friends were let go, they reported the incident to authorities and described what had happened inside that studio. That is when the case really took off. Investigators began matching those statements with the physical evidence, the travel records, the tracking data, the ankle monitor data, and the surveillance footage. And yes, Shiesty had a tracker on his ankle that records all his location. He forgot that it would record the fact that he was out of town committing robbery, which was what got him the ankle monitor in the first place. They stated that Gucci described who had robbed him. Once federal authorities believed they had enough, the arrests followed.
A very dramatic story. You gotta listen to this one. Justice Department is laying out some details about this crime involving some big name rapper Mane and two other industry pros who were apparently kidnapped and robbed, according to the Justice Department, by Pooh Shiesty, by Big 30, along with some others. A total of 9 suspects have been arrested. So here's what we know. These DOJ officials say Gucci Mane was lured into what was a fake business meeting in Dallas at a music studio that turned into what they called an armed takeover, where Mane and these others were held at gunpoint. This is back in January. They got robbed of their Rolexes, their cash, their jewelry. At one point, Gucci Mane was even basically forced to sign a release from a record label. Priscilla Thompson is joining us now. It is wild stuff, Priscilla. What else happened?
Yeah, Hallie, unbelievable, made for the movies kind of stuff. So Pooh Shiesty is signed to Gucci Mane's record label. And so this business meeting was scheduled in January at a recording studio in Dallas. And Pooh Shiesty shows up with 8 other people. You mentioned Big 30. Also, his father was among those with him. And Gucci Mane shows up with 2 people. They're all in this recording studio together. Pooh Shiesty says to Gucci Mane, "Can we speak privately?" And he allegedly, according to this complaint, asked Gucci Mane to sign a release form that would release Pooh Shiesty from the record deal. Gucci Mane declined. They argue back and forth. Pooh Shiesty asks someone to bring him a bag and pulls out an AK-style pistol, according to this complaint, and demands that Gucci Mane sign this document releasing him from the recording deal. After that document is signed, then he goes on, Pooh Shiesty, to steal Gucci Mane's wedding ring, other jewelry, his wallet, and then the small group of individuals goes back out into the larger group that's in that recording studio, and apparently all 8 of the other men who were with Pooh Shiesty pull out guns and began demanding property from Gucci Mane and the men who were with them. So we're talking about Louis Vuitton bags, Rolexes, cash, wallets. There's even physical altercations where there are photos of people with scratches. At one point, the complaint says that there was a man who had a gun put to his head, and they believed that they were all going to be executed. But they were allowed to leave eventually, and then this investigation took place where you have all of this surveillance video in and around the recording studio, the hotels, the rental cars that were booked, and you also had some of these people posting the stolen goods on social media. But what's more, Pooh Shiesty was, according to this complaint, under home detention. So there's electronic evidence that he was at that recording studio when he should not have been. He should have been at home. So obviously these arrests were made. We know that 8 of the 9 men were arrested and have been charged with all 9 of them, though, charged with kidnapping and robbery. Hallie?
Can I just ask one question, Priscilla? I don't know if you know the answer to this, but presumably, if Pooh Shiesty had been under home detention, he would have known that, right? That there was an electronic monitoring situation happening on him?
100%. And in fact, Hallie, according to the complaint, there was a conversation with his parole officer who said, you are not where you're supposed to be. And Pooh Shiesty said he thought he had had permission to leave and told the parole officer that he would be returning home.
Around the same time, a home tied to Shiresty's family was also raided, turning what had started as a studio meeting into a full-scale federal case. Prosecutors say that the ankle monitor became a major piece of evidence, because it helped place him in Dallas and helped investigators track his movements in connection to the studio meeting. So in their view, it was not just witness statements pointing in his direction even though Gucci had described him. They say the electronic monitoring data was also helping tell the story. Authorities also say the studio was not the only place where the trail was captured. Investigators say surveillance footage helped document movements connected to the case, not just at the studio itself, but also at other nearby locations afterward. They also say tracking data, travel records, rental vehicle information, fingerprints, and phone evidence all helped show where the group went before and after the robbery. And after leaving the studio, prosecutors say some of the men were already showing off what appeared to be the stolen items online, which only gave investigators more to work with as they began piecing everything together.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage, from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least 2 of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice.
WAC 100 spoke on it, and one of the points he pushed back on was the idea that Gucci Mane was somehow a rat just because authorities were now building a case.
The rules of the streets is if you cooperate with law enforcement and give them any information or any name other than yours, then yes, you are a rat. These are the rules of the streets. Everywhere I seen Gucci wasn't the streets. A yacht, an exclusive birthday party. Is Gucci still upheld to the rules of the streets? I don't believe he hangs with anybody but his wife and his family. Everybody better open their eyes up. Just because you playing the game your way, don't be the next man is not gonna play the game they way.
That is because once the charges became public, Shiesty went online and started making it seem like Gucci had gone to police and was pointing the finger.
Don't even do that. We don't even know. We ain't see none of that. Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Just I wish he wasn't in here.
Nah. What? Come on, man. Hey, the way he tried to pop it, I thought he did some time or something. Like he, been through that motherfucker. I said, oh, this bitch been watching Power or something. I don't know what the fuck he think this is. He was on TV. Come on. Come on, man. Hey, man, how much time you got, man?
I'm here for a minute.
All right, then. Say that then, man. Say that then. Them was on.
I've been in this bitch 32 strong, living it.
I shiesty ass. And it sounds like Gucci cooperated. It sounds like the victim. Gucci was a victim and gave his testimony. Come on over here with me, Gucci. It's all right. It's all right to go and be civilian. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, come on over here with me, Gucci. Press charges on their ass to the full extent of the law. That's how you get to niggas. Now, I don't hear nobody telling Gucci not to press charges like they try to convince me not to press charges on Thug. I don't hear nobody calling Gucci a hoe ass nigga for pressing charges. They done not put somebody down there in a coma, hold a nigga. That's like Suge Knight holding that boy upside down over the balcony, that Vanilla Ice boy. I signed the contract. I look there, man, that's like, yeah, Pooh Shiesty done come out here acting like Red, all 5 heartbeats. Yeah, say, you know what that is? Say the boy done come out here acting like Red off the 5 heartbeats, man. Yeah, all them niggas with your motherfucking fluffy beards recidivate when they get out of prison. Yeah, you gotta go back to your gold teeth, nigga. Yeah, boy should've went back to his gold teeth. God damn it, Shiesty, boy, I was sure looking forward to you coming to concert and watching young niggas go to jail for the summer. I just knew, man, what the fuck up. Damn, Shiesty. I was looking forward to a Shiesty tour. I'm not bullshitting.
Fans in the street. Real niggas making love.
Damn, Shiesty. Damn, Shiesty. They get the whole man too. What them feds mean is a motherfucker. Take it to daddy too. God damn. Shit. Boy, if there's any other time to think about telling, this is it right here. You talking about the kind of, you federal charges for federal kidnapping? Oh my goodness. Up to a life sentence? Oh man. Whoever these FBI agents is here, they finna get a promotion. They fucking around being in line up to be the FBI director one day for bringing down Shiesty. I'm not bullshitting. Oh my goodness.
That gave the internet even more to argue about. Some people ran with that, others pushed back hard. Then Rick Ross spoke on it too. Everybody starts picking sides, everybody starts adding their opinion. Some people looked at it like betrayal, some looked at it like messy label business turned violent, some focused on the so-called street angle.
I'm on a Euro tour, like I said. I'm in Prague, going back to Paris tonight. But for everybody in my DM, Rose, what you think or how you feel about the Guwap Pooh Shiesty situation? I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but this one niggas gotta be educated and understand. In business, you gotta negotiate, my nigga. You gotta negotiate. If you were signed for 100K and now you got 10 M's on the table, it's time to negotiate. This how we do this. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody win. Let's go. That's how I gotta go, my nigga. You can't muscle your way out of no shit and no business. It don't go that way. And I ain't just talking about on the people's side, but on the other side, the blitz gonna come. You can't run from it, homie. That's the way it goes. Negotiate. It's time to educate. I want to see young hustlers from the South win. I want to see it. There was a time I got Gotti and Guwap on the phone together. Us three on the phone, nigga. And it ain't nothing to discuss. It was no disrespect. It was no raised voices. Rose just wanted to plant that seed. And I understand one phone call may not fix all the situations, but you want to plant that seed where niggas may be able to move forward one day, get some paper one day. The CMG 1017 tour one day, that was Rose mindset. And I wish nothing but my homies the best. When it come to business, let's negotiate. Niggas can't take the streets to the do. Nigga gonna get a life sentence with that shit, bullshit, nigga. Let's get to the B's.
Others focused on the simple fact that, if the allegations are true, a business meeting turned into a gunpoint robbery and kidnapping. 50 Cent posted this on his own page, indirectly saying what he thinks.
Gucci Man got robbed and didn't tell nobody but the law. I told y'all, man, people who are paying goddamn taxes and law-abiding citizens, man, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, come here. That shit dead. Robbing people, trying to goddamn extort. That shit dead.
Some people were happy for the artist, believing he is out of contract now, but the truth is that he isn't.
Also, Pooh Shiesty is not out of his contract. You guys got to stop getting on this internet saying that he did a good job because now he's free from him. No, he's not. He actually might owe him more money. I'm not speaking towards this comment, by the way. If you guys paid attention in school, now that it's been proven that he was forced to sign that contract by Pooh Shiesty, it's voided and the agreement still stands. So now Pooh Shiesty basically got to sit in jail and still pay Gucci. Not only that, Gucci and his record label, which they already showing they're about to do, can sue Pooh Shiesty and make it so he basically get more money off of bruh. He on a 360 deal, man. That nigga in an infinity deal now. Y'all keep talking about something he did great. No, he didn't. He back with boys. He gotta tickle boys and give all his money to Gucci now. Mind you, he could have easily finished his contract. Bro just had to give him 3 albums. It was over. He could have made throwaway songs. He could have pulled a little Uzi. But nope. We kidnapping people while we have ankle monitors on 4K camera, and now we got to be with boys again. Like, we gotta be real. Like, come on, guys. We gotta be real. We gotta start thinking with our brains.
Big 30-foot lawyer had a bit to say too.
Doesn't have a criminal history. Doesn't have a criminal record. He's been making music for a number of years. He and Pooh Shiesty kind of came up in the music game together, and they were sort of like, they're very close, and they made, you know, some magical music. I just hope that people will wait to pass judgment on Rodney and these other individuals until all the facts.
Do you guys think Gucci Mane is a rat, or he is getting older and not into the street life like a fan said? By the way, Gucci Mane has told the feds he won't be cooperating with them in the case. What are your thoughts? Let us know. We shall keep you guys posted with anything that comes up.